Hey guys, so just to let you know, there is a video coming of me building the Gym ReRun Team. Uh, that video is more than 2 hours long, so I kind of wanted to make this shorter video, going over a few things of each of these Pokemon, and also wanted to let you know how much I ended up spending. That'll be towards the end of the video. So yeah, the first Pokemon I wanted to discuss was Gible. As you can see here, mine has a hidden ability, and the guy doesn't say that this is necessary. Uh, I ended up giving it to mine because I found Garchomp, an Alpha Garchomp with uh, sort of the IVs that I needed. And right now, the alpha dragon type Pokemon are a little bit cheap, so I would say it's a pretty nice bonus to have. And as you can see, this one is pretty much what the guide says that you need. The reason you need low HP and defense IVs is because it needs to be able to feint to Weezing's explosion. So that's kind of all I wanted to say about Gibble. Sorry, the game just kind of kicked me out for being AFK. So yeah, the next Pokemon I wanted to discuss was Vanillite. My Vanillite unfortunately has hidden ability, and I say unfortunately because you do not need hidden ability. Matter of fact, if you find Vanillux with hidden ability, you'll end up spending more on the ability pill to change it back to Snowcloak. So I suggest you find one that doesn't have hidden ability. And the other thing I kind of wanted to mention is that the guide says that you need high HP and special defense IVs. uh, I ended up going with a high defense as well because there is an instance where there's a combination. I think it's in Celadon or somewhere in Kanto where you need to bring out both Garchomp and Vanillux, and you're gonna use Earthquake and Blizzard. And I don't know. I find it better if your Vanillux survives the Earthquake. That's why I ended up giving Vanillux high defense. Um, so yeah, that's kind of I wanted to mention. As for Squirtle, I ended up giving it the mild nature. The guide mentions that 31 special attack, 31 speed, and low HP and defense, so that it also needs to be able to feint to Weezing's explosion, uh, and also triple check that it has water spout. And there are a couple of videos on YouTube on how to give Squirtle water spout. Um, but I guess you'll also be able to see it on my full video. For Cyndaquil, the one thing I wanted to mention about Cyndaquil is that I didn't give it modest nature. The reason being is because it's a little expensive. Uh, and this Typhlosion, I'm only gonna use it for gym rerun, so I didn't mind going with Rash Nature. But if you're gonna use this for competitive or something, then I would go for Modest. But it's up to you. The guide just says you need Modest, and you don't need any of the defenses because Typhlosion is mostly gonna um, defeat everything with Eruption. Either it's gonna defeat everything, or it's just gonna feint to Earthquake or Explosion. So the that's it's up to you if you want Modest, but I think Rash is good enough. Now for coughing, the one thing I do want to mention is that Chaos Pokemon with Adamant times 31 attack are pretty cheap. Usually there are a lot of walls in the Chaos Egg group, so they usually go for bold or, for example, coughing, wheezing specifically is a physical wall, so their nature is mostly geared towards defense. So you'll find some pretty cheap Chaos Pokemon with attack and adamant. So just keep that in mind. I think you'll see in the full video that I did find a muck with 31 attack and adamant, but because of how I had my breeder set up, I couldn't, um, I couldn't use it. So just keep that in mind. Uh, Chaos Pokemon with times 31 adamant are pretty cheap. So keep a look, keep an eye out. And for Togekiss, I ended up buying Togekiss. The reason being, uh, I you can't breed Togepi, and you gotta evolve it to Togetic to breed it. And the problem with that is that it evolves through happiness, and I honestly, by the point, by the by that point, I was already tired of breeding, and I didn't want to have to evolve my Togepi just to breed it. I know the guide isn't asking for much; it just asks for times 31 in special attack and speed, and it being modest nature. So I ended up purchasing it, but just keep in mind that you'll probably save some money by breeding it yourself. So just FYI. Okay, and now for the costs. Here, I made a list of everything that I ended up spending. Um, I go over this in detail on the full video. So for Squirtle, I ended up paying 120K. Uh, so if you can find a Squirtle that has mild nature, the required IVs, and with water spout around this price, and I think it should be good. But if you can't find one, then this is about as much as you're going to be spending. Maybe more, maybe less. I guess it's going to depend on the market. For my Cyndaquil, I ended up spending 73K. Keep in mind, I didn't go with Modest, so that saved me a bit of money and time. But if you decide to go Modest, you're probably going to be spending a little bit more than that. And the coughing is the one that I ended up spending the most time and probably money because of um, the specific IVs that it needed and the nature. So I ended up spending around 340K. So if you can find the coughing or wheezing that's about that price, or maybe cheaper, maybe more expensive, I guess it's gonna depend on the market. But hopefully you can find something cheaper. This is what I ended up spending myself. So that's pretty much it on coughing. I bought the Togekiss at 150K. It was 2 times 31 modest nature. So if you can find one at this price, I think you should be good. You'll probably save. You could probably save some money by breeding it, similar to to the Cyndaquil that I ended up spending 73K. So I'm thinking maybe for a Togekiss, if you decide to breed it, maybe you could breed it with just 100K, 110K. I'm not entirely sure, but this is what I ended up spending on it. For the Gibble, I found an Alpha Garchomp with with necessary nature, it was already what is it? Lonely or yeah, lonely. It was already lonely, and the only thing it was missing was zero defense. It had pretty high defense, so I ended up buying an Obama Snow and Neverstone and a defense brace. This Obama Snow that cost me 35K. Also had the necessary IVs, so I think I was a bit lucky in finding it. So you might spend a bit more, you might spend a little less. I guess it depends on the market. So yeah, the Garchomp ended up costing me 166K, 167K, you could say. For the Vanillite, I actually rolled the nature, so this price right here is not entirely accurate. Let's take a quick look on how much Vanillux with a modest Vanillux with 5 times 31 costs. Let's see, modest. I know mine isn't 5 times 31, but this is just to give you an idea. And you may end up spending 1 million on it. So for this one, it's about 200K. I would say you probably end up spending around 400K if you decide to breed yourself. So yeah, just keep it in mind. As I said, it doesn't need to be 5 times 31. That's probably why I didn't spend that much on it. But I can't say for sure because, as I said, I rolled the nature, so this is not accurate. And I ended up adding up all the costs of the TMs. I excluded all the HMs and all the moves that the Pokemon learn naturally. So these are the costs of the moveset of each Pokemon. The items, unfortunately, the choice items are very expensive. They're over 100K on the GTL. If you have some battle points you can spend, I suggest you do that. But if you're gonna use Pokeyen only, they can cost up to 537K. So that's pretty expensive. And in total, what this team cost me right here, as you can see, it's around 1.8 million. Uh, so you can that's how much you're gonna be spending approximately. As I said, it depends on the market. Maybe you're gonna spend more, maybe you're gonna spend less. But I think that's around a good estimate. If I were to add 200K to this, to if I hadn't rolled the nature, it's what I'm kind of estimating that I saved there. Oh, sorry. I would say that you're gonna end up spending about 2 mil for this team. I know that seems like a lot of money, and yeah, it is. But just keep in mind that you can end up making that money back if you use this team in like 4 days. Um, the profit that I end up making per day per gym rerun is about 500K. So yeah, just 4 days of uh, grinding the gyms, you'll have that money back. So I do think it's a worthwhile investment, investing the time, investing the money. I'm You may end up spending more because, as you can see, I haven't leveled or EV trained these. So I guess it's up to you if you want to spend more on vitamins, on EXP candies, rare candies, what have you. So just you could end up spending even more. I am gonna uh, do that. I don't wanna train these myself, but it's money. If you can save money on that. Just uh, keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to comment and I'll try to answer them. And just remember, there's a bigger video coming of me building this team, the whole process of me building this team, and you'll see what I think. I share a bit more of my thoughts on that video on each Pokemon. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good day.